In today's video, we're going to be putting together a DIY survival fanny pack that you can build, and it requires no sewing. Stick around. Alright, so I'm at home again, self-imposed, got some back issues that I'm trying to get addressed, and they're going to be taken care of here shortly, but until I can get out in the field, I'm kind of spending a lot of time in my office just messing around with things. And one thing I wanted to do is I'm getting my gear ready for the spring camping season. I really plan to hit camping pretty hard this year and go to a lot of different places and take you guys along on that journey. That's part of my goals. But I wanted to put together a really nice compact kit that can be thrown into my larger backpacks and travel with me when I go camping and out exploring. I wanted it to be what I would consider a possibles pouch. That is a concept that the mountain men used to call their kind of go bag that had all the little things that they needed to service their rifles, but also help them start a fire and things like that. So the modern concept of this pouch really came from my experience watching Dave McIntyre. He won, I believe, the second season of Alone. Unfortunately, he has passed away, but before he was on Alone, he had a fantastic YouTube channel where he was down in South America doing ministry, but also teaching survival expeditions, and he would go out in the jungle with his team and these different people that he would take out there, and he always would take time to go through his equipment and his gear. And one thing that he had was this kind of E&E pouch, possibles pouch, whatever you want to call it, that he always had with him. This is something that went in his larger backpacks and gear, and then he was able to remove this and then take it with him if he went out exploring or checking out different places. So it's a minimalist kit. It has lots of different things in it that can help you get through a survival situation. And what I like about this is that it's a very inexpensive pouch that I found on Amazon. This is by a company called Elite Spanker. And if you guessed it, yes, it is, one of the many Chinese companies that are producing nylon gear and selling them on Amazon. It's pretty well made. I've had really good luck with their products. The name is very strange. I don't quite understand why they have that name, but this is a utility pouch, Molle utility pouch, and as you can see on the back here, it is set up to strap to a chest rig, plate carrier, or a backpack, and it's a Molle organization pouch, but the size of it and the setup of it is perfect for modification and turning it into a really nice little possible survival pack. So it's a fairly easy modification to do, but you are going to need some parts and pieces. Now, one thing that I always like to tell people when they're putting together gear is make sure you save and collect all those bits and pieces and scraps that you get over the years. When I come across old military surplus that maybe is no longer good but is being thrown out, or I can get it at a pretty cheap price, I will cannibalize it for buckles, straps. I save things that I get from other pieces of gear. There's all kinds of things in here that I do not get rid of. I just keep it. Webbing, of course, is a fantastic item to have. This is standard 1-inch webbing, and 1-inch webbing is kind of the standard for most DIY nylon tactical gear. So the hardware you're going to need first is some way of attaching a strap to this Molle webbing right here. So what I like are these little clips. I think these are called slick clips, And I'm going to try to put links down in the description, so if you guys want to find these and purchase them, you can. What's awesome about these slick clips are that they have this gate on each side, so you can attach this to the Molle and then run your 1-inch webbing through the other side, and they just open up by applying some pressure, and then you close them by squeezing them. Then you're going to need some 1-inch webbing. Now, there's all different types of nylon webbing, different colors, different styles. This is Ranger Green. This is a, I think this is a cotton blend webbing. It's very lightweight, very flexible. You can go with a nylon webbing that's much stiffer, if that works better for you. And the next piece of equipment you'll need are these little 1-inch buckles. So you pass the webbing through the buckle. And then what I do is, to secure it, so it is a, what I would consider a no-sew option, is you run it back through the buckle and that creates a loop, and that's where that clip is going to go through. So if you don't have access to a sewing machine, you don't know how to sew, you don't have someone who can help you sew, this is an option. I think eventually what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this buckle off, and I'm going to actually have my wife, who is very good with sewing and has a nice sewing machine, sew a loop on the end of this. That'll be much more secure and it'll be less hardware. The next piece of gear you're going to need is a fast text buckle. This is going to be your ability to take this thing on and off easily like a fanny pack, and you just need a 1-inch buckle. These can be cannibalized from all kinds of different packs, or you can order them on Amazon or find them at, you know, fabric stores, whatever. You need another one of these buckles. So this end is the end that is the adjustment, and as you can see, when you pass it through, it does not come loose. It locks on itself. But if you open it up or move the buckle, it's adjustable. So this is very secure. One thing you probably want to do, and that's something that I need to do, is probably sew the end of this to create a tab, or wrap it with duct tape to create a tab. That way it doesn't easily pass through here in case it gets too loose. Then you need another one of these slider buckles, because this is going to create a loop here that the webbing is going to pass through on the female end of this buckle. So that just has one bar, and your webbing goes around there, comes through that buckle, and that secures it. So that is the no-sew way to make a waist strap. Now, of course, with this Molle, you don't have to make a waist strap if you don't want to. You can actually take this Molle and not thread it through, button it, and then just pass it through your pant belt. But I don't like a lot of things on my belt, because that means I have to take my belt on and off to get stuff on and off. I much prefer a quick release buckle system or strap that I can wear around my waist and take it on and off as I need. All right, so the front of the pouch has the Molle webbing or Pals webbing on the front. You can actually attach more stuff to the front of this, but it's also a Velcro field, so you can put patches on it. And on the bottom you have elastic retainers, which actually fits a cat tourniquet perfectly. Very secure when the pouch is loaded up. That's not going to go anywhere, so that's a nice addition to the pouch. Then you have a front zipper pocket, and then this thing opens all the way down about halfway, so you can actually get into this thing, and there is organization built into this pouch. So let's just go through some of these items that I consider, you know, my kind of grab and go items. We have a backup headlamp. I've shown this headlamp in several of my videos. I have a lot of these, and I have them stashed in all kinds of different kits, but it's a little Petzl E-Light. It's very lightweight, has an emergency strobe, also has a red light feature to preserve that night vision, and then it doesn't take up much room because it has a very thin, small strap. As a survival, you're going to need some type of cover and some kind of insulating layer to protect you, so a survival blanket is a great way to go. This one's from SOL, and it's a much bigger one than the standard smaller ones that you get, which is, I have one of these too. This is like a little one, but this can actually be used as a shelter, so you can set this up as a tarp. Cover yourself up, and this will actually protect 1 to 2 people. So it's a really convenient small package emergency shelter system. This is the Contour Feather. It's a really cool little knife. I love how this thing just fits in your hand. It even has a whistle built into the handle. But the cool thing about this is it actually has a surface on the spine for striking a ferro rod, and it has a built-in ferro rod right there. And then also has a pull-through sharpener, ceramic rods. Those aren't always the best, but for, you know, some emergency touch-ups of your little backup blade, it's a cool little feature. And then it has a very nice sturdy metal clip on the back, so you can clip this onto something or run some paracord through it and use this as a neck knife. But for a backup knife, I think this is a pretty good option. And as you can see in the pouch, there is elastic webbing sewn into the back, different layers and different sizes, so you can put a variety of items back there. And then it has a little mesh slip pocket right here to kind of help organize some longer, skinnier items. So on the bottom, I have a hunk of 550 cord. I've got some wax dental dam that I use for fire starting. So little emergency fire starters right there. Then I have an emergency saw, wire saw. This is actually the military issue one that comes in the aircraft survival kits, pilot survival kits. It's a much better wire saw than the standard cheap ones that you get in the survival kits. This is a little bit more upgraded. It actually has some teeth to it. It will cut, and it has paracord loops built into it for pulling. And I have some tape, flat pack. This is more like a gaffer style tape. It is a cloth based tape, high vis orange, so I can use this to tape up my shelter and make repairs. But it's very strong stuff. I don't know where I got this at. I've had this for years. It goes in all my kits, but any kind of duct tape would work. This is a small Frontier emergency water filter. This is the type that you actually put the little tube on, and then you're sticking this into the water, the dirty water, and then drinking directly from it. So it is a quick way of getting a drink of water and still being safe. Doesn't take up a lot of room, very lightweight. But I have other means of filtering more water, and I'll show you that here in a minute. And then, of course, a Bic lighter with some duct tape wrapped around it. Got to have that. Very invaluable piece of equipment. I have these in all my kits, little fire bellows. So basically this allows you to stick this down into your pile of tinder and blow into it, and that gets the fire going much quicker. Really great for fires that are maybe built with wet wood. You're having trouble getting it started. A fire bellows can usually help that situation out. And then in here, I've got a few items. So this is a piece of reflective material that's been sewn into an armband. That way I can use this to actually signal or mark gear at night. So if someone's looking for me, this will reflect back to them. This is another piece of military surplus. This is a signal panel marker made by Specialty Products in PA. It's a very lightweight piece of material that's been sealed in this bag. These come in the aircraft survival kits as well. And then this is my larger water purification kit. I have Aqua Tabs, so these are going to be dropped into a bag of dirty water, and then you let them set for, I think, about an hour, maybe less. I also have this little piece of plastic material that is a funnel that fits a coffee filter. And that allows me to pour dirty water in a container and filter out all the chunky stuff. Now, this piece of equipment, unfortunately, I don't think they sell these anymore. The people who had these, their store closed down, and they're no longer available. But maybe this is something you could potentially make or fashion yourself. But even if you don't have this plastic kind of funnel, definitely these are readily available in the grocery stores. You should have these in your pantry anyway, so get yourself a couple coffee filters and throw them in your kit to make a water purification kit. And then the one thing that I do like to have are these Whirl Bags. They take up very little room, they're pretty sturdy, and they're great for treating water. Put your dirty water in there, drop a tab in, and now you've got clean water after it has a chance to activate. And the front pouch, navigation, you're still going to want some type of navigation that you don't have to rely on your phone. So a wrist compass. This is a Sunto wrist compass. Actually, these are pretty accurate and they work very well. Then a small signal mirror. This one is from ESEE. And it's actually got a piece of protective material that's sticky that you just peel that off, and then the mirror is ready to be used, but that helps protect it. It comes in this little mylar sleeve. Then another great item from ESEE Knives is this Write and Rain notebook, but it also has your grid readers for maps. It has different ways of how to navigate. It kind of shows you how to read a topo map if that's something that you need some refreshing on. But it has just a variety of map tools. And then in here, you've got your Write in the Rain notes that you can take. And then with something like this, a pencil is much preferred over a pen, because this is something that you can, of course, sharpen with your knife, and you don't have to worry about the ink running out. And then I keep it just in this little pouch to protect everything. And then, of course, some kind of magnifying glass for, pulling out splinters or reading maps, even starting a fire. And then some knot cards. These are great reminders that, if you are in a situation you're trying to tie up a knot and you're having trouble functioning, thinking clearly because, of course, you're excited or upset, maybe you're cold and tired, this can help. And they're just nice to have, because if you're with other folks, you can always hand off your hunk of paracord and give them this knot card and have them practice. So it's a great lightweight item to have in your kit. This kit, we have all the bases covered. We've got shelter, we have some first aid with that tourniquet and that tape, we have fire making, we have tools, we have repair items, we have signaling, we have navigation, we have lighting, and all in a very compact, easy to carry kit that you can take anywhere and you can put together yourself, and it's not going to cost you a ton of money. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, do me a favor, hit that like button, consider subscribing. I try to release videos all the time, at least once a week if I can. Hopefully going to be getting out here soon after I get these back issues addressed. And once that happens, I plan to be hitting the trail and camping quite a bit this year. And I'm going to be taking you guys on all those trips with me. And this kit is definitely going to be going with me because it is so compact, and there's no reason not to have these essentials with you no matter where you go. I will have links for everything down below, so if you're interested in these items, please check out my Amazon store, and also check out my affiliate links. I have a Facebook group that is huge, Instagram, and then also a website that has articles and photos and links to other videos. So check all that stuff out. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time on The Prepared Wanderer.